Hello there, beautiful souls. If you're over 60 and considering saying, I do again, first of all, congratulations. Just the thought of finding love in this vibrant chapter of life is something to be celebrated. Whether you're widowed, divorced, or simply rediscovered a high school sweetheart, remarriage at this stage brings unique blessings. And yes, a few important things to consider. Today, we're diving into 5 essential truths you need to know before walking down the aisle again after 60. These aren't just practical tips. They're heartfelt insights that come from real stories, expert advice, and a sprinkle of wisdom. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's talk heart to heart. When you think about love after 60, it might feel a little confusing at first. Maybe you're wondering, will it be like the love I had when I was younger? Or can I even fall in love like that again? The truth is, love at this stage of life is often quite different from the passionate, sometimes turbulent love of youth. And that's not just okay. It's actually something wonderful to embrace. At this age, love tends to be deeper, calmer, and much more grounded. You've lived through heartbreaks, joys, and everything in between, and those experiences shape how you connect with someone new. Instead of fireworks and roller coasters, love becomes more about steady companionship, shared values, and the comfort of knowing someone truly understands you. It's a love that offers safety and peace. Take Clara and Jim, for example. Both in their early 60s, they met at a local book club after losing their spouses within a few years of each other. They didn't feel an instant spark like a movie romance, but they did enjoy each other's company. Over time, they started meeting for morning walks and coffee dates, sharing stories about their lives and dreams. Their connection grew slowly but surely, built on respect, kindness, and the joy of simply being together. Now, years later, they say their love is even stronger than what they experienced in their youth because it's grounded in friendship and understanding. It's important to remember that at this stage, you're not just looking for passion. You're looking for a partner who will stand by your side through the many seasons of life. Maybe that means being there when health issues arise, or simply holding hands during quiet evenings. This kind of love values the little things: shared laughter, mutual care, and the comfort of someone who truly listens. Psychologists say that as we age, our brains release different chemicals that help us bond more deeply and with more emotional stability. It's why older couples often report feeling more secure and satisfied in their relationships. The rush of new love is still there, but it's mixed with wisdom, patience, and a stronger sense of self. For some, love after 60 can also bring a new sense of freedom. You might have adult children who are independent, careers behind you, and more time to focus on yourself and your relationship. This creates space to explore new interests together, travel, or simply enjoy each other's company without the distractions of earlier life stages. If you find yourself feeling hesitant because your previous love stories ended in pain or loss, know that this new love can be different. It's okay to take things slow, to feel cautious, and to heal at your own pace. What matters most is being open to the possibility that love can surprise you in ways you never expected. So if you're wondering whether it's worth opening your heart again, the answer is yes. Love after 60 is not a lesser love. It's a richer, more meaningful connection that honors all you've been through and all the joy still waiting for you. Remember, it's perfectly fine if your love story doesn't look like it did when you were younger. In fact, that difference might be the very thing that makes it so special. One of the most important things to understand about remarrying after 60 is that you're not starting fresh on a blank slate. By this point in life, both you and your partner bring full, rich lives with you, full of experiences, routines, families, and memories. And that can be both a blessing and a challenge. When you were younger, marriage might have felt like building a new world together from the ground up. But now, you're blending two worlds that have been carefully created over decades. You have your own traditions, your own ways of doing things, and likely your own adult children and grandchildren. Your partner has all those too. So it's important to be gentle with each other as you learn how to weave those lives together. Take Dan and Linda, for example. Dan married Linda when they were both in their mid-60s. Linda had a close-knit family that gathered every Sunday for dinner, and Dan had his hobbies, including volunteering at a local charity and gardening. When they came together, Dan didn't just marry Linda. He also embraced her Sunday dinners, where there were always a dozen family members and lots of lively conversations. Linda also learned to appreciate Dan's quiet afternoons spent tending to his garden. It wasn't always easy. They had to find a balance between their separate worlds and their shared life. But through patience and humor, they discovered that their differences actually enriched their relationship. It's also important to recognize that with age comes a clearer understanding of yourself and what you want from a relationship. You know your boundaries, your likes and dislikes, and what truly makes you happy. This self-awareness is a gift when merging lives because it helps you communicate honestly and set expectations that work for both of you. Sometimes blending families can be tricky. Adult children might feel protective of their parent or wary of change. Or perhaps there are complicated relationships with previous spouses or ex-partners. It's okay if it takes time for everyone to adjust. Patience, open communication, and respect for each person's feelings are essential. One practical tip is to keep your routines flexible but respectful. For instance, if you have your own hobbies or social circles, it's healthy to maintain those while also creating new shared activities with your partner. You don't have to give up who you are to be part of a couple. Instead, think of it as two full lives coming together to support and complement each other. Psychologically, this blending process can sometimes bring up feelings of vulnerability or fear. What if I lose myself in this new relationship? But remember, your identity is something that grows and changes naturally over time. A healthy partnership encourages your growth and supports your independence. Another positive side is the joy of expanding your social circle and family network. Meeting new friends, forming bonds with grandchildren, or joining your partner's clubs and interests can add new energy and excitement to your life. So, as you consider remarriage, embrace the fact that you're bringing your whole self, your story, your family, your routines, and that your partner is doing the same. Blending these parts takes work, but it also offers incredible richness. It's not about losing your independence. It's about building a life that honors both your histories and dreams. Remember, love at this stage is less about changing each other and more about accepting and growing together, side by side. One of the most important truths about remarrying after 60 is this: finances matter. And it's perfectly okay. Actually, it's essential to have honest, open conversations about money before you say, "I do" again. Many people shy away from talking about finances because it feels awkward or unromantic. But the truth is, understanding each other's financial situation is a foundation for a healthy, trusting relationship. At this stage of life, money often looks very different than it did when you were younger. You might be living on a fixed income from pensions, Social Security, or retirement savings. There could be investments, properties, or even debts that need to be managed. And if you have adult children or grandchildren, financial considerations can become even more complex. Consider Elaine and Robert's story. Before getting married, they sat down and talked through their finances with an open heart and mind. They discussed everything from monthly expenses to estate plans and inheritance wishes. Even though it wasn't the most romantic conversation, it saved them from many misunderstandings later on. They knew who was responsible for what bills, how they would handle shared expenses, and what would happen to their assets if something happened to either of them. This transparency brought them closer and made their relationship stronger. It's also important to remember that you're both coming into this new marriage with your own financial histories and habits. Maybe one of you is a saver, while the other likes to spend a little more freely. Or perhaps you have different ideas about retirement travel or supporting family members financially. Talking about these things openly helps prevent resentment and confusion. Psychologists and financial advisors alike agree that couples who discuss money early on experience less stress and conflict. Avoiding money talks might feel easier in the short term, but it often leads to bigger problems later. One practical tip is to schedule a money talk date, just like you would a dinner date. Approach it gently, with curiosity rather than judgment. You might say something like, "I'd love for us to understand our financial picture better so we can plan our future together." It's a way to show care and respect for each other's security. Another important aspect is legal and financial planning. Remarriage can affect your taxes, benefits, and even your eligibility for certain programs. It's a good idea to consult with a financial advisor or attorney who specializes in later life marriages to make sure everything is in order. Also, keep in mind the feelings involved. For many, money is tied to independence and security. Having these conversations openly shows trust and a willingness to build a partnership based on mutual respect. If you have adult children, it's wise to think about how your remarriage might impact their inheritance or financial expectations. Again, open conversations, maybe even with the children involved, can clear the air and reduce future conflicts. Remember, talking about money doesn't have to be scary or dull. It's actually a way to protect your love and peace of mind. Approaching financial discussions with kindness and patience turns them into opportunities for growth and connection. So as you step toward remarriage, give yourself permission to bring up money in a way that feels safe and respectful. It's one of the most loving things you can do for yourself and your partner. One of the most delicate aspects of remarrying after 60 involves your adult children. While this new chapter in your life may feel exciting and hopeful, your grown kids might experience a range of emotions, from happiness for you to confusion, sadness, or even resistance. And that's perfectly normal. Adult children have lived a long time with the memory of your previous marriage or relationship. For many, their parents' relationships are deeply tied to their own sense of family and security. So when a parent announces plans to remarry, it can feel like a big change, sometimes even a threat to what they know and love. Take Tom's story, for example. After losing his wife, he began dating again and eventually decided to remarry in his late 60s. At first, his children were supportive but cautious. When he officially announced the wedding plans, some of them felt hurt and unsure how to respond. They worried about their dad's happiness, but also felt a sense of loyalty to their late mother. There were awkward silences, some tense phone calls, and a few moments where everyone had to take a step back and breathe. What helped Tom and his family was open communication and patience. He made time to talk individually with each child, listening to their concerns without judgment. He reassured them that his love for their mother wasn't erased by this new relationship, and that his goal was to find happiness while still honoring the past. Over time, his children saw how his new partner brought him joy, and how the family could grow bigger, not smaller. It's important to understand that your adult children may need time to adjust to the idea of your remarriage. Their initial reaction might not be their final feeling. Grief, loyalty, and change can all mix together in complicated ways. Sometimes adult children might worry about practical issues, like inheritance or family traditions. They may wonder how this new relationship will affect family dynamics or what role a new step-parent will play. Addressing these concerns openly, with kindness and honesty, can help ease their worries. Psychologists emphasize the value of empathy during this time. Putting yourself in your children's shoes helps you understand their feelings better and respond with patience. It's also okay to acknowledge your own feelings of guilt or uncertainty. You're navigating new territory for everyone involved. Another helpful tip is to include your children in the process whenever possible. Invite them to meet your new partner slowly and in comfortable settings, share your excitement, and encourage questions. Creating a sense of inclusion can reduce feelings of alienation. If you have grandchildren, their feelings might also be part of the mix. They may be curious or confused about this new person in their grandparents' life. Gentle introductions and time will help those relationships grow naturally. Remember, this adjustment phase doesn't have to be rushed. The most important thing is to hold on to your love for your family while allowing space for new relationships to develop. With respect, patience, and open hearts, families can grow in beautiful, unexpected ways. So if you're worried about how your children will react to your remarriage, take comfort in knowing that it's normal for there to be some bumps along the way. And with time and kindness, those bumps can turn into bridges. As we journey through life, health naturally becomes a bigger part of our day-to-day reality. When it comes to remarrying after 60, understanding each other's health and being prepared for what the future might hold is an important truth to embrace. It's not always the most romantic topic, but it's a practical and loving step that helps build a strong, supportive partnership. At this age, many people experience changes in their physical or mental health. Maybe you or your partner have chronic conditions like arthritis, diabetes, or heart issues. Perhaps one of you requires regular medication, or there are mobility challenges. These realities don't mean love is impossible. They just mean that compassion, patience, and communication become even more vital. Consider Maggie and Bill's story. Maggie knew that Bill was living with early signs of Parkinson's disease before they got married. Rather than seeing this as a burden, she viewed it as part of the full picture of who he was, the man she loved. Together, they talked about what the future might look like and made plans to support each other. Their honesty brought them closer, and Maggie says their love feels richer because they face life's challenges hand in hand. Being open about health issues before marriage can prevent surprises and misunderstandings down the road. Sharing your medical history, discussing any daily needs or limitations, and exploring how you might support each other through doctor's appointments or emergencies are acts of kindness and respect. It's also wise to talk about caregiving roles in advance. While no one wants to think about becoming a caregiver or needing care, discussing these possibilities helps both partners feel prepared and cared for. Knowing that you can rely on each other creates a strong foundation of trust. Psychologically, knowing someone has your back through tough times can reduce anxiety and strengthen emotional bonds. Couples who support each other's health challenges often report feeling more connected and resilient. Another important factor is planning for emergencies and future care needs. This might include setting up power of attorney, discussing living wills, or deciding on preferences for medical treatments. These conversations are gifts to one another, ensuring your wishes are honored and relieving potential burdens from family members. Don't forget to celebrate the positives too, staying active together, enjoying hobbies that promote health, and encouraging each other to live well. Whether it's morning walks, gardening, cooking healthy meals, or attending exercise classes, focusing on wellness can be a joyful shared journey. And remember, no relationship is perfect. There will be days when health challenges feel overwhelming. During those times, kindness, patience, and gentle humor can lighten the load and remind you that you're in this together. If you or your partner have fears or concerns about health and aging, sharing those feelings openly can create emotional intimacy. Vulnerability is a bridge that invites deeper connection. So as you think about remarrying, take time to gently explore each other's health realities. Approaching this topic with love and honesty strengthens your partnership and prepares you both for whatever comes next. Ultimately, love after 60 is about walking side by side, through good days and tough ones, with understanding hearts and steady hands. One of the biggest truths about remarrying after 60 is the importance of keeping your independence. At this stage of life, you've spent decades building your identity, routines, and passions. Stepping into a new marriage doesn't mean giving all that up. It means finding a balance between togetherness and staying true to yourself. Many people worry that remarriage will mean losing their freedom or having to change who they are. But the healthiest relationships honor each person's need for space and individuality. Independence doesn't weaken a partnership. It actually strengthens it. When both partners feel free to be themselves, the love between them grows more genuine and resilient. Take Marilyn and George's story. Marilyn loved painting and spending time with her friends every week, while George enjoyed his daily walks and playing chess at the community center. When they married, they made a conscious decision to keep those parts of their lives alive. They supported each other's hobbies and social activities, knowing that those experiences made them happy and whole. Their relationship flourished because they weren't trying to change each other. They were simply adding new layers to their already rich lives. Psychologists agree that maintaining autonomy in a relationship is linked to greater satisfaction and less conflict. Being able to say, "I need some time for myself," without guilt is a healthy boundary that keeps both partners feeling respected and valued. Another practical tip is to keep your own friendship strong. Having a close circle of friends outside your relationship offers emotional support, laughter, and a sense of community. It also gives you things to share with your partners, sparking new conversations and experiences. Communication is key here. It's important to talk openly about your needs and listen to your partners. Maybe you need quiet time in the mornings to read, or perhaps your partner wants a weekly golf game with friends. By respecting these needs, you both create a safe space to be yourselves. Sometimes blending households can feel overwhelming, especially if you're used to living alone. Setting clear boundaries around space and routines can help. Having a room or corner that's your own can make a big difference in feeling comfortable and independent. It's also okay to say no sometimes. If an activity or plan doesn't feel right for you, expressing your feelings honestly allows both of you to find a solution that works. Independence thrives in relationships where honesty and respect are prioritized. For many, independence also means managing finances separately or together in ways that feel fair and comfortable. Discussing money openly, another important truth we talked about earlier, supports this balance. Remember, independence doesn't mean emotional distance or detachment. It's about nurturing your own happiness, which in turn nourishes the relationship. When you bring your whole, authentic self to the partnership, you invite your partner to do the same. So if you're thinking about remarriage, embrace your independence as a strength. It's one of the most beautiful gifts you bring to a new relationship and a foundation for lasting love. After all, love is not about losing yourself. It's about finding someone who loves you just as you are. One of the biggest keys to a happy and lasting remarriage after 60 is communication. It might sound simple, but honest and open communication really is the glue that holds a relationship together, especially when you're blending lives later in life. Over the years, you've learned a lot about yourself, your needs, your boundaries, your triggers. Sharing these things with your new partner builds trust and deepens your connection. It also helps prevent misunderstandings and hurt feelings that can sometimes sneak up in relationships. Take Betty and Frank's story. They married in their mid-60s and found that talking openly about everything, from how they like to spend weekends to more sensitive topics like finances and health, helped them avoid a lot of unnecessary conflict. When Betty was feeling overwhelmed by the busy holiday season, she told Frank, who was then able to offer support instead of getting frustrated. Frank shared his worries about his health openly, which allowed Betty to understand him better and offer comfort. Their communication became their safe space. Psychologists point out that couples who practice good communication tend to feel closer and more satisfied. It's not just about talking a lot. It's about talking well, listening deeply, expressing feelings without blame, and being curious about each other's perspectives. If you're worried about how to start or improve communication, here are some practical tips. First, create regular moments just for talking, maybe over coffee or during a walk. These relaxed settings can make sharing easier. Second, practice active listening. This means really focusing on what your partner is saying without interrupting or immediately offering solutions. Sometimes just feeling heard is the greatest gift. Third, use I statements to express your feelings. Instead of saying "you never listen," try "I feel unheard when." This softens the conversation and helps keep it positive. Fourth, don't be afraid to talk about difficult topics. Finances, family dynamics, health concerns. These aren't easy, but avoiding them often creates tension. Approaching these talks with kindness and patience can turn challenges into opportunities for growth. Remember, it's also okay to take a break if emotions run high. Sometimes stepping away for a few minutes helps both partners cool down and come back with clearer minds. Another important part of communication is sharing your hopes and dreams. Talking about what you want from your relationship, your future plans, or even your fears can build emotional intimacy and shared vision. And don't forget the power of small, everyday communication. Expressing appreciation, saying thank you, sharing a joke, or simply checking in on each other's day. These little moments weave a strong fabric of connection. If you ever feel stuck or unsure, couples counseling or communication workshops can be wonderful resources. Seeking help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a proactive step to nurture your love. So as you move toward remarriage, remember that communication isn't just about solving problems. It's about sharing your lives fully and lovingly. It's the ongoing conversation that keeps your bond alive and growing. With patience, kindness, and a willingness to listen, you and your partner can build a relationship where both of you feel truly seen, heard, and cherished. Remarrying after 60 isn't just about merging two lives. It's also a wonderful chance to create new memories, find joy, and build traditions that feel uniquely yours. This stage of life brings freedom from many earlier pressures, and with it, the opportunity to celebrate love in your own way. Sometimes people worry that starting over means leaving behind all the traditions and routines they loved. But the truth is, you get to keep what feels good and create new rituals that reflect your shared interests and values. These new traditions become the glue that strengthens your bond and adds meaning to your days. Take Anne and George's story. After marrying in their late 60s, they started a weekend ritual of cooking a special meal together every Saturday night. It was something neither had done before, but it quickly became a joyful time filled with laughter and teamwork. They also started a tradition of taking an annual trip to the mountains, which became a highlight of their year. These small rituals gave them a sense of togetherness and fun that brightened their marriage. Psychologically, building new traditions helps couples feel connected and creates a sense of security. It signals that this relationship is not just about the present moment, but about creating a shared future. Whether it's a morning coffee routine, a weekly movie night, or a yearly volunteer project, these rituals weave joy and stability into your life. Another important truth is to embrace joy in the little things. After years of life's ups and downs, you know how precious happiness is. Celebrating small wins, sharing a smile, or simply enjoying a quiet moment together can deepen your love and keep things light and uplifting. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in practical concerns, finances, health, family dynamics, but don't forget to nurture your playful side. Laughter and fun are powerful healers and relationship builders. If you're wondering how to start new traditions, think about activities that bring both of you happiness or reflect your personalities. Maybe it's gardening, attending concerts, joining a book club, or exploring new hobbies. The key is to find joy together and make space for those experiences regularly. Remember, your traditions don't have to be grand or complicated. They just need to feel meaningful to you. The beauty of starting fresh at this stage is that you can choose what works best for you both, without outside pressures or expectations. As you build your life together, be open to change and growth. Traditions can evolve over time, and that flexibility keeps your relationship fresh and resilient. Finally, embrace the love and happiness that remarriage can bring. It's a brave and beautiful step, full of promise and connection. Every smile, every shared story, and every new tradition you create is a testament to the wonderful journey you're on. So, take heart and celebrate the gift of love again. Build your rituals, find joy in everyday moments, and look forward to the many happy memories still to come. So, if you're considering saying, "I do" again, take heart. With the right conversations, gentle understanding, and a little planning, remarriage after 60 can be one of life's sweetest chapters. You deserve love, laughter, and companionship. And yes, it's still possible. Don't let fear or assumptions hold you back. If this video spoke to you or someone you love, give it a like, share your story in the comments, or subscribe for more heart-centered conversations just like this. And remember, it's never too late to write a beautiful new love story.